my channel. Today we are diving in to the first, hopefully, of many products that were launched in the Tom Ford Soleil 2021 collection. Now last year they launched a few products, so I'm kind of hoping there's more to come. They launched this, which I have, which this is the cream and powder eye color in black sands. They also launched a lippy, it was like a gloss, but I didn't pick up the gloss only because it looked like it was more sheer with like gold glitter. I just didn't figure I needed it, so I just went ahead and grabbed this. Now, let me just say this. It's very intimidating. It is so intimidating. And it's $65, so it has the cream on the bottom. So you have this cream formula that is black. She's black. And then you have on the top is the topper. The topper is kind of a green gold. It's a gold that has a green base and not a yellow base. You know how that is. Sometimes it'll have a green base to it. You can now pick it up on the Tom Ford website. Lots to say about it. So the details on this, it is inspired by the opulent golden sun blazing over private islands. This two-tiered eye color creates a dramatic and deeply seductive eye look. Sweep the ultra pigmented black cream base over the lid and discover its molten glow made of golden pearl shimmer, sparkling like glimmering rays, warming naked skin. I don't know who wrote this, but damn. Top with a layer of high shine, high glitter, gold colored powder to amplify the incandescent effect and add extraordinary dimensions to the eye. Okay, so that's the deets on it, you guys. All right, now, when I bought and reviewed these from Auric, okay, these are the smoke reflex. Somebody in the comment section had said, how do these, the ones from Auric, how do they compare to the Tom Ford? So I didn't have any from Tom Ford, so I went ahead and bought this one, which this one is in the shade Golden Peach. When I saw this black one, I was like, ooh, this is very interesting, because I am somewhat intimidated by black because it's hard to use, right? But this spreads in such a way, it's a very, very interesting formula, and I kind of had a little bit of an interesting experience, but you can see as I spread it across my hand, you can see some of the shimmers inside of it. So you can see it's got some gold reflex in it. So that's the information on this new product from Tom Ford. Let's go ahead and jump into the application. I am going to show you guys how I use this very intimidating black cream eyeshadow. And then, of course, I will jump into my final thoughts and kind of share with you my experience with this formula compared to other formulas out in the market. So we'll get into all of that after the application. So let's go ahead and jump into the application, and I will see you guys all in my final thoughts. I got my hands on this Tom Ford. This is the new Soleil 2021 summer collection from Tom Ford. And it is black cream eyeshadow. I know, I am like hoping I can pull this off. A little bit nervous, but the topper is this really beautiful gold. So I'm very curious. What I do know is this is a pretty creamy texture, and I think obviously a little bit of this is going to go a really long way. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to use the Smith 247 brush, and I'm going to dip so damn lightly in there that I don't even know what to do with it. So I'm going to dip in very lightly, and I'm also going to tap off on the back of my hand, because I want to kind of, because this is my first time using it, I want to be careful with it, and I want to make sure that I don't go overboard. You know what I mean? So we're just going to kind of place this on the eye. So I dipped the brush in, and then I tapped off on the back of my hand, so I'm not going in with too much. I feel like that is probably the best way for me to have control over this kind of a color, you know? For those that want that black eyeshadow or black definition, I mean, using a cream is the way to go because you don't have to worry about any fallout, you know? So because I'm going in so lightly with it, it's a very light gray color. I'm gonna, oh shit, I forgot to tap off. I'm gonna build it up a little bit, just so that we can kind of truly get, oh, okay. So what I'm gonna do from this point, because I did get a little bit too much, I'm gonna grab a clean brush and just go over it and blend it out. I thought I could do this, but you guys, I don't think I can. Okay, I'm gonna have to clean this up because I don't like the way this looks. Okay, so I just kind of cleaned that up because I didn't like how it looked out that way. But dang, you guys. So this is a little intimidating and it's a lot. Like, you got to be super, super, super careful. What I do want to do is grab a bronzer color. Just like something, I need something in the crease to kind of give it something. I'm going to use this warm bronzer from Gucci. This is the shade number 4. I needed something to kind of give it a little bit of life so that it's not so black, you know, or gray. Grays are hard to use. It takes a certain type of skill, and it also takes a certain type of skin tone to be able to pull off such a gray shadow. So I think the bronzer kind of allowed me to give a little bit of life into the eye. So let's just go in to the topper and just... Now, some of you are more talented than I am, and so you would probably figure it out easily, and you'd be like, oh yeah, I got this. This is like in the bag. But me over here going, what the hell do I do with this? I'm going to take the Smith 253 brush. I'm going to spray it with some MAC Fix Plus, and I am going to apply it a little bit, this shimmering shade, a little bit heavier on the lid. I don't know, Tom Ford. I don't know. I don't know about this, you guys. I just don't know. Okay, hold on. I got this. I don't know. It's starting to come together, though. It is. It's taken me a second, but it's coming together. I'm not mad at it. So I'm going to bring some of that bronzer underneath the lash line and kind of pull the look down under here. I'm going to use this small little teeny smudge brush from Sigma, and I'm going to grab a little bit of the cream under here. I'm going to wipe off so that I'm not applying a shiz ton, because shitskis, you guys, this is like, she's got pigment. And I'm going to take this small little brush and like gently, so carefully bring it under the lash line. Ay, ay, ay. It's beautiful because it does have a little bit of sparkle in it. The only thing that I'm not loving is that I feel like I got it a little bit muddy right here. So I'm going to take my makeup wipe and I'm going to go up and like wipe that off and kind of fix it. I don't know. It's just bugging me. Like, I feel like I could really like this look if I kind of fix the few things. It's almost like where I put the shimmer. Where I put the shimmer, it kind of attached to the bronzer. So I think on the other side, on this other eye, I will go in with the bronzer first so that I can then, at that point, blend the cream eyeshadow into the bronzer. I think that would have been the best. But you know, it's all trial and error, and you know, I don't plan on deleting this part of the video because I want you guys to see how you got to work with something like this to make it work. So I'm just going to go back in with just some of my eyeshadow primer. I'm just using the NARS concealer in the pot. It's just easier for me, you guys. So I'm just going to put this down and kind of whiten it back up again, just so that I have a good base down and that is like more sharp. Right? So I'm just going to kind of pat it out with my finger. Then, of course, I'm going to set it with a little bit of powder because that's just what I do. I need to kind of buff this line out right here. Just kind of taking a stiffer brush to kind of get in there and like break up that line. Now, I'm going to go back into the bronzer and bring it back. Okay, so that's getting better, right? I'm gonna go in and grab some of this gold, and I'm gonna use that and like sweep it up and into this crease and kind of have it like fade up into the eye, you know, like up into the crease area. We're gonna grab this Jaclyn Cosmetics. This is her loose highlighters in the shade Balm. This is like, make your eyes pop. I prefer this for inner corner highlight. I could never wear this for highlighter because it's just too much. I'm going to take a small pencil brush. I'm just going to grab what's down in here. Like I haven't even lifted this little tab all the way off. I just kind of like, because then it would just be a freaking mess everywhere. So I haven't released that tab all the way. And spray it with MAC Fix Plus and then stick it right here. Oh yes, do you see that? Yes. Whew! And any of your like strong golden highlights that you have will work. Like you don't need this one, but just anything that you have that's like gold, right? Let's take a little bit of that and go right here. Oh my gosh. Yes, 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 yes. Do you see that? Do you just... Stop it right now. Did you just... Did you just see what happened? Did you just see what happened? Sticking that gold over top of that shimmer. Oh my gosh. I will let you guys know how this eye goes. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to catch up on my Real Housewives of Salt Lake City because I kind of got bored with it and now I need to watch it because one of the main characters was just arrested. So I'm not lying. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Jen Shah, she was arrested yesterday. So I need to watch it now. It wasn't interesting to me. I kind of got bored watching it, and so I stopped watching it, and now I'm catching up because now it's more interesting because she got arrested. Okay, I'm going to go off camera. I will be right back. I threw on a pair of lashes, put on a lippy. The lashes are House of Lashes in the style Iconic Lights. They're kind of one of my all-time favorites, especially for a look like this. And I threw on the KKW Beauty Nude 2.5 lip liner. And I grabbed the Wayne Goss lipstick in the shade Camilla. This is one of my favorite lipstick shades. And I love it because it's a very creamy formula in the way that it will really blend into a lip liner. So I love the way that this look turned out. It took me a minute to get it there, right? It's so much prettier than I thought it was going to be. So much prettier. So that's it for the application. And of course, we will get into my final thoughts. So I will see you guys then. So let me jump into my final thoughts about this from Tom Ford. This is just definitely not necessary. The only time that this would be necessary is that if you love to create smoky eyes. If you love wearing rich black eyeshadow and you love a smoky eye, then this is definitely worth it because the formula is really good, which I will get into the formula of these from Tom Ford compared to the Charlotte Tilbury and the Auric from Samantha Ravindell. But this shade in particular is not that necessary. Even though I love the way my eyeshadow look turned out, I think I could achieve this with other palettes. Even maybe using like an olive green eyeshadow or something. I don't know. I love the way this looks. I just don't feel like this is necessary. Wanting something that's easy for a date night, for a smoky eye, then this is good. I mean, the formula's there. I just don't feel it's super necessary because it's such a specific color story. Because, for example, the peach one that I have, the golden peach, this one I could see myself wearing on a regular basis, like daily basis. I could wear it with anything, right? This is something that's very specific, and I just don't see myself using it enough to justify the $65. But that's just me on a personal level. If you're somebody that loves those smoky eyes and you want to use something that's easier than black eyeshadow, because black eyeshadow can be extremely intimidating. So if there's something about matte powder black eyeshadow that's intimidating to you and you want to use something like that, then this would be a great base to use and less messy. This does have some shimmer to it. As you saw in the swatches, it does have some shimmer to it. But it's very easy to use. It's an easy formula to use, but it's just such a specific color story, and I just don't see that it's fully necessary for a $65 price tag. You know what I mean? Now, the formula, on the other hand, let me get into some of the differences between this and the Charlotte Tilbury and the Auric. So I'm going to kind of break it down in my experience, how this formula from Tom Ford compares to the Auric and the Charlotte Tilbury. So you guys know I love the Charlotte Tilbury. I have so many of these. I don't even want to tell you how many I have. I have so many of them. Okay, so this is the Charlotte Tilbury. And this one is in the shade Sunset Rose. I don't know if you can get this anymore, but I just grabbed it from my collection. Okay, so a little bit of it spreads a very long way, right? And the key with the ones from Charlotte Tilbury to not get them to crease is to not apply very much of it. You don't want a lot of these. If you apply too much, you run the risk of it creasing and kind of getting heavy on the eyelid. And I also like to set my eyelid with some kind of powder just to kind of stop some of the oil production throughout the day to kind of keep it in place. So I personally love the Charlotte Tilbury. Now, the difference between the Charlotte Tilbury and the Auric has a little bit more of a drier formula. I hate trying to get this little tab thing off the top of this. The little top thing, I always have to pull out my tweezers and pick it off, and it drives me nuts. I wish that there was a different topper for these. The Auric is drier of a formula than even the Tom Ford. Much less likely to crease because it's a drier formula. Then you go to the Tom Ford, and the Tom Ford, in my opinion, is more like the Eyes to Mesmerize. So this one from Tom Ford, this one is a thicker formula. It's a little bit thicker than the Eyes to Mesmerize from Charlotte Tilbury, but it's thick in the consistency. It blends out to a very thin application. So I feel like it's more radiant than the Charlotte Tilbury, just a little bit more shimmery, because plus you can go over top of it with a topper and really bring that shimmer to life. I would say that the Auric, out of all three of them, probably has the least amount of shimmer because it does have a topper to kind of bring the shimmer to life. So you can kind of see the level of intensity here when it comes to these. I would say you do have to kind of prep your eyelids for both the Charlotte Tilbury and the Tom Ford, meaning that you need to put something like something down. If you don't put some kind of primer down, whether it's a concealer or an eyeshadow base, you're going to want to set your eyelid with some kind of powder to kind of control the oil production through the day so that it doesn't kind of break up these two formulas. I would say that the Tom Ford, in my opinion, is the best of the three. I've used the Tom Ford several times since I've gotten it, and I would say that the Tom Ford blends out the prettiest, blends out the most even, and I feel like it lasts the longest of the three. Now, I would say that the Auric lasts long, but you don't really get that shimmery effect unless you put the shimmer over top of it, right? But it is a very good formula. All three of these are very good formulas. It just kind of depends on what you're looking for. Personally, I do think the Tom Ford is a better formula of them, of all three of them, but it's very expensive. It's $65. So you have to decide if it's worth it because it's stupidly expensive. But the formula, in my opinion, is the best. I think it lasts the longest, it looks the prettiest, and it's the easiest to work with. Now with this black, that was the only reason why I even dared try the black. That was the only reason why I bought it, is because I knew that the Tom Ford was an easy formula to work with. And I was very, very curious about it. And yes, I did take this look in a different direction, but I think that's what kind of makes this a little unique because, you know, you could make this just a solid gray or black eyeshadow look and put the gold on it for like an evening night out. Or you can make it this really beautiful kind of olive green, kind of bringing the warmth in it and creating the eye look that I have. So it's a lot more versatile than you think. It's just a very, very easy formula to use. And you can see, even though it's black, it has a shimmer to it still. If you are comfortable with black and you can rock this black and you want to work with it, you will not be disappointed in the formula. The formula is beautiful. You just have to really love the shade in order to kind of justify the price because it's $65. So those are my overall thoughts. I really hope that there are more to come in this Soleil 2021 from Tom Ford. Shout out down below in the comment section. Let us know if this was something that you were kind of having your eye on, or are you looking at it like, I am not paying $65 for black anything, because I hear you. It's a lot of money for a black cream eyeshadow. It is. The formula is there. The value is there, but I still don't technically think it's worth $65, you guys. $65 is a lot of money. Let me just throw this out there. Okay, we're going to have this conversation. You guys are my friends. We're going to have this conversation. If you had $65 to blow on something, buy one of the Jimmy Choo lipsticks. Now, maybe not the Golden Peach, because I really love the Golden Peach. But this I'm rarely going to use. This is like a specific dress or a specific occasion, a specific something. So this is not something I'm going to use a lot. But this Jimmy Choo lipstick, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Now let me tell you something. You're going to spend $65 on something, have this and pull it out of your purse and apply it in the mall, or, you know, applying it at dinner, and you've got this like beautiful, oh, it's so pretty. Yeah, I mean, come on. This is beautiful. Like this whole component. Oh, it's so pretty. Those are my overall thoughts. Sound out down below in the comment section. Let us know how you guys are feeling about the new Soleil collection. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in today's video. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you. Bye.